About 40 kilometers east of the Taj Mahal sits a city born at the height of the Mughal Empire. It started as a royal manufacturing hub, but centuries later, the very industry that built it began to threaten the world wonder next door. That city is Firozabad, known universally as the Glass City of India. Today, it produces an estimated 70% of the country's entire unorganized glass output. To understand the scale of this cluster, just look at its most famous export. Every single day, Firozabad's factories produce roughly 50 million glass bangles. This output is the result of a 400-year-old tradition. During the 16th century, Emperor Akbar invited artisans from Persia to the region. They taught glass-blowing techniques to local laborers, creating a specialized class of craftsmen called kanchkaps, traditional glassworkers who passed down these skills through generations. By the late 20th century, that artisanal legacy had grown into a massive industrial engine. Thousands of businesses were operating in the literal shadow of the Taj Mahal, and they were running almost entirely on coal. Before the 1990s, the skyline of Firozabad was choked with smoke. The city relied on thousands of inefficient coal-fired pot furnaces and pakai batis, specialized muffle furnaces used to bake and strengthen the bangles. Together, they released massive volumes of sulfur dioxide into the air. This diagram shows the exact mechanism of the threat. Sulfur dioxide rises from the industrial furnaces and mixes with atmospheric moisture to create acid rain. When that acid rain falls on the Taj Mahal, it chemically attacks and pits the white marble, causing irreversible corrosion. The degradation became so severe that in 1996, the Supreme Court of India intervened. The ruling in MC Mehta versus Union of India officially designated the Taj Trapezium Zone, or TTZ. The TTZ is a strict 10,400 square kilometer protective boundary drawn around the Taj Mahal and surrounding monuments. Firozabad fell squarely inside that zone. The court delivered a strict mandate to the city's factories: switch to clean natural gas, relocate your business outside the zone, or shut down completely. It was an ultimatum that instantly put 150,000 local jobs at risk. The court order effectively compressed decades of industrial development into a single deadline. Manufacturers were required to abandon wood and coal and master the complex thermodynamics of gas-fired production. Switching fuels sounds simple on paper. In reality, you can't just plug a modern gas burner into a traditional clay pot furnace. The old structures physically couldn't handle the combustion dynamics of natural gas efficiently. To redesign the city's thermal infrastructure, two organizations stepped in: the Energy and Resources Institute, or TERI, and the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, or SDC. This cross-section illustrates their solution: the gas-fired recuperative pot furnace. Instead of letting hot exhaust escape up a chimney, this design captures the waste heat to preheat the incoming combustion air. That simple recycling mechanism achieved much higher melting temperatures, using far less fuel. This chart shows the immediate impact. Energy consumption dropped by 30 to 35%, and the sulfur dioxide plume was virtually eliminated. The success of the recuperative furnace proved a vital point. Environmental protection and industrial survival are interdependent. You can save the historical monuments without killing the economy, but only if you get the engineering right. While the large furnaces provide the raw glass, the city's economy actually runs on thousands of informal home-based micro-units. Here, local families perform the labor-intensive work of decorating, polishing, and finishing the glass into its final form. These small artisans couldn't afford expensive gas upgrades on their own. To keep them from collapsing, the government utilized the One District, One Product scheme, or ODOP. ODOP is a regional economic program that provided targeted subsidies, design training, and toolkit distributions directly to the glassworkers. The most effective tool in that program was the creation of Common Facility Centers, or CFCs. Think of a CFC as a shared industrial hub. It democratizes manufacturing by giving independent artisans access to expensive, high-tech cutting and polishing machinery they could never buy themselves. This government report details the financial scale of that support. Looking closely at the Common Facility Center Scheme section, we can see 15 CFCs have been fully completed, representing an investment of over 112 crore rupees to support thousands of local users. By centralizing the heavy, expensive technology into shared spaces, Firozabad managed to modernize its industrial core without destroying the decentralized artisanal workforce that actually gives the city its character. Better furnaces and better tools naturally led to better glass. As the quality improved, Firozabad transitioned away from relying entirely on low-value bangles and expanded into premium exports, like specialized borosilicate labware and high-end crystal chandeliers. But manufacturing premium goods is useless if you can't ship them efficiently. Reaching global markets required a massive leap in logistics to replace the chaotic, localized transport networks of the past. Enter the Nasirpur Logistics Park. Currently under development, this is a sprawling 132-acre facility specifically designed to handle the region's outgoing industrial capacity. This map illustrates why the location is so strategic. The park acts as a high-tech storage and distribution node, directly connecting Firozabad's factories to the Agra-Lucknow Expressway, the dedicated freight corridor, and the upcoming Jiwar International Airport. By streamlining the supply chain, transportation costs drop, making Firozabad's glass highly competitive internationally. Over 30 years, Firozabad transformed from a collection of polluting, isolated factories into a cluster where modern thermal engineering is supported by synchronized rail, road, and air logistics. To cement this new identity, the state is investing 47 crore rupees into the Firozabad Glass Museum. It's a massive 3-story facility featuring a dedicated glass bridge and a striking glass-paneled exterior, signaling the city's pivot toward heritage and industrial tourism. Inside, the museum will use augmented and virtual reality zones, alongside live glass blowing demonstrations, to educate a new generation of visitors on the intense human effort required to shape every single piece of glass. The survival of Firozabad proves that strict environmental mandates do not have to be a death sentence for traditional industries. When paired with the right engineering and policy support, they act as a catalyst for sustainable rebirth. If a 400-year-old artisanal cluster can completely reinvent its thermodynamic foundation to save a world wonder, it offers a highly practical blueprint for any industrial city facing the climate challenges of the 21st century.